Wow.
Week 1 in the books.
Done and dusted. Plenty to talk about.
What a great opening weekend, though. I actually have a lot of good things to say about this weekend, which is awesome.
First of all, the attendance.
Crowds.
Of all the games.
And all but one game, unbelievably competitive.
Yeah.
Like, very, very exciting games. Sans one.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but we'll talk about it.
We'll just dive into that. But before we get to the games, I've got 2 hot topics I want to dive into before we get to those. Hot topic number 1. Children signing in the league.
Children.
You have some strong feelings on this, and you've made that clear to me, and I want to hear where you're at before I tell you where I'm at.
Okay. Full disclaimer. If you're good enough to play in this league, you should play in this league. Disclaimer. That is point number 1.
Yeah.
Point number 2. I feel like these girls are kind of being set up to not develop as players. I think that
okay.
You're taking them. So hear me out for a second.
Okay, I'm going to hear you out.
You're taking them out of their ECNL club or whatever, development scale that they're in, and you're putting them into the best in the world, right? So with that being said, yes, they're in sink or swim mode. So would you agree with me in saying that the NWSL's goals throughout the season is not to develop players?
I think some programs do a lot better than than others.
With that being said, I feel like at the end of the day, the NWSL coaches, their job is to win.
They're
games.
Winning. Yeah, there's not most teams don't have like a second team. Like there's not like a great academy type of system that funnels people up. I hear that.
But with that being said, so you're taking a player who is probably training with a boys team, probably training, in older age groups and putting them into a sink or swim environment and then expecting them to develop, to know how to be a professional, to not get injured, do they have their license to drive themselves to practice?
I feel like you're kind of acting like we didn't play with a whole bunch of children in Australia. And like some of those kids ended up being Ellie Carpenter.
That's true. I guess what I'm saying is like you can produce your Mal Hughes, you can produce your Lindsay Horans, but sign some player because they're ready, not because they could be the next big thing. Like allow these players to develop, allow them to succeed instead of like what happens if they get injured? What happens if they are over soccer?
Well, you'd have to hope that, again, we're not being released these numbers. The hope has to be that the kids who are signing, the young adults, the young ladies, let's call them whatever they want to be called, these athletes, hi Ricky, Ricky's going to say hello, that these athletes are getting good enough offers that they're like, this is worth it to me financially to forego college. Even if I get hurt, they're making a calculated risk that I'm making enough money, that this would be. Now, has any contract I've ever made in my life been enough money to forego college?
For me.
No, but Alyssa Thompson is way better than I was.
Agreed. She scored an absolute worldie this year, so it kind of nullifies what I just said. But I'm saying for the majority.
All these, yeah.
You're going to have your outline.
It's still small enough right now that I'm feeling okay about it. Like, I don't think they're just they've not proved yet that they're just going to churn through kids. However, I think it's something to keep an eye on. But you're right. Like, again, when we played in Australia, there was a lot of 14, 15-year-olds who got signed and it didn't really pan out. However, it didn't crush their college dreams or anything because that's not how it works there. They just kind of moved on with their lives and went to school. And there was a lot that are literally still on the national team and they're crazy good. So much further along than any of us were by the time we were 18 years old. So
prove me wrong. Yeah, I would put my hand out and be like, I'm wrong. She scores a worldie in the first 11 minutes of the game. So I'll be like, you know what? Well played.
Yeah.
But
you know what? We're going to keep an eye on this though. We're watching these teams. You do right by those kids.
Yeah, you bet, or else you're going to hear it here.
Yeah. All our 3-figure viewership is coming for you.
You'll see Ricky first.
Yeah, Ricky's going to come and nip at your ankles. Okay, hot topic number 2. And this one is near and dear to me because I was actually at the game.
Okay.
I went to LA.
I don't know what it is yet.
VAR.
Look, I had multiple friends reach out to me because, I'm so popular. And they were like,
oh, you are?
Y'all need to talk about this on this podcast. And VAR, huge swing of events in LA. What was it like on the field?
So, honestly, the refs were the absolute enemy after they made that first decision, right? Because there was 2 instances. Yeah. They make that call. And to be fair, what a goal. Beautiful goal to see live. Holy crap. Yeah. And relax. Like, making us all look bad. That was stunning. They showed the foul in the build-up. And in my mind, that was not clear and obvious. It also felt like the ref had a good view of that section of the play. So I'm like, I think that is VAR used wrong. Now, on the other hand, like, then they call a penalty against Angel City using VAR. By the textbook definition, that one is a foul, I think. Like, it's one of those situations as a goalkeeper you find yourself in. It's like you're coming out for the ball, you're making a strong play. It's definitely not a red card. It's a tough spot to find yourself in, but they use that to give them then, basically a goal, because it ended up being a goal. And that totally changed the game. They went from being 2-0 up to then losing 2-1 on a bad VAR call, like, regardless of what happens after that point. The refs getting booed off the field at the end of the game, I was like, get them some security, like, get these people, like, and I got, honestly, like, I'm not saying go out and attack the refs, because, like, really, please don't do that, because they, like, work so hard. But, like, if I'm the VAR system, like, I think we're having, like, a little internal gut check about what clear and obvious means.
Yeah, because if you look at the first one, I replayed it a bunch of times, and if you look at the Gotham players, none of them even throw their hand up.
No one thought it was a foul.
Crap, we're caught. So it's kind of like, I think it's just hard because, like, you have people talking to us in the ref's ear, and then obviously the ref is hyped up because they have how many fans there? Everyone's yelling at them.
And whoever's sitting in whatever city VAR is sitting in is like, we're a new thing, and we got to get it right. They don't know. VAR still gets it wrong. It's still humans making decisions. Like, I think they got it wrong. So, y'all, like, just, take a quick look at the rule book, maybe. I also want to disclaim something really quick here, because, like, I have to just... I was consuming beer at the game. You know what I mean? Like, was I caught up in the moment? Was I, feeling my... I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think it was a foul.
I'm confused.
Yeah, listen, that's what I get to do now, because I'm a retired athlete.
Well, remember, you're formerly a fun chick. You're not currently.
No, I know. I was fun, and I'm gonna have to just sit on my couch for about 6 weeks to recover from going to that game and just simply existing in fun. Okay, last one. Oh fuck! I just put. We're going to have to cut something and then splice, and that's going to be so effing annoying.
Why? What happened?
I just clicked something, and it put something in front of our screen. You know what? We're not going to fix it. We're amateurs, guys. Deal with whatever just popped up. I'm sorry.
Can't take you anywhere. You're supposed to be the hip and, like, I'm with media.
I know. I'm still in my 30s, Christine. I am not Gen Z.
It's only downhill from here. This is the best you're going to be at.
This is the best. Okay. I'm going to unpack all that later. But what were your takeaways from this weekend?
Well, to piggyback off what we just said, Angel City got the VAR smack of the stick.
Short end of it, too.
Gotham coming away in that hostile environment, scoring 2 goals. Granted, the penalty was the penalty, whatever. But Lynn Williams finished with the arm cast across the body.
Behave. If we had rights, I'd show that play right now, but we don't.
I would love to know, like, what's going on. Obviously, we're not going to talk about injuries, but, like, what was the thought process of the...
Honestly, it clearly looked like it did a nice balance job on her, though. I wonder if she's considering wearing it from here on out. Not that she was unbalanced before, but just in that moment, it was great.
Maybe.
Yeah. My takeaways. we really hyped up Kansas City last week, and we like went really, really hard from them. And then I'm actually not going to say we were wrong because I'm not ready to say that yet because 2 days after we chat, the injury report comes out, and their whole team apparently all lost their knees at the same time. 95% of their team has a knee injury. What are they doing there?
How bad? Best case scenario, worst case scenario. I feel like not that we put the cloud over them, but is this our fault?
Did we? Did we leave and then all of a sudden all their knees were just like, I don't know. Maybe.
You didn't knock on wood.
I did. I'm on my wood table and I just knocked on it.
Oh.
Good job.
Oh, my dogs are going to bark. No, they're not.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. Yeah, the Kansas City injury list was like, again, I thought they were going to smoke North Carolina, and then I really questioned myself when I saw that injury list. And not that they don't have a talented roster beyond that, but like that was a ton of talent. Like you felt like that list could have been a starting 11. That's what it looked like.
That could have been the NWSL first team.
Like it was crazy. So I'm hoping that whatever's going on there, I hope that they sort the knee vulnerabilities
for all of them.
In the state of, are they in Missouri or can't? They're in Missouri, right? You're in Missouri. Okay. That they sort their issues.
Yeah.
And some people get healthy for next week. I think they put up a fight in their loss, but yeah, I was like, they're about to walk in there and just crush. And then I'm like, oh my God, no, they're not.
Oh no.
Yeah. Last game that I'm going to talk about, because I think, again, really competitive, some beautiful goals, some unbelievable, like we had some clean sheets on opening weekend. Like it's just some of the stuff that you're like, okay, we look more refined, like kicking off the year, which I think is great. As if I did a lot in this. I'm
tired from this weekend.
I'm exhausted from all my beer drinking at Bank of America Stadium. Was the one blowout game. Portland versus Orlando. We're both rooting for Seb. Yes. I am rooting for Seb. I think he needs time to actually rebuild the way he wants to rebuild. This is not going to happen overnight.
Portland,
but
at Portland, different team. Portland away from Portland, totally different team. So to open up at Portland is tough to swallow. So a lot of teams change their tactics saying, hey, let's just play a defensive game. I'm not sure exactly what their strategy was, but I mean, Portland put on a performance and everyone else in the league is going, holy shit.
I know, you're kind of like, it's that big question mark of, and I hate to pose it like this, is you're like, ooh, is Portland that good? Or does Orlando have that many holes that they need to fill very, very quickly?
Yeah.
Both could be true. But yeah, it was so dominating. And that team on Orlando looks so young and they look just kind of very deer in headlights. I think there's obviously some very talented people in that roster or people that are going to be talented. As they get more minutes, it was just such an inexperienced kind of group to be perfectly frank, right? It's just the number of minutes they've probably amassed feels like it's far less than that Portland roster.
I mean, Orlando needs a quick response and they need to kind of readjust, reassess. And I think we will always say Seb is the guy for the job, but he does have his work cut out for him.
They've got some, they made a trade already. I think they traded an international spot. They gave away some allocation. They're already making some moves. It's clear that they're not going to wait around for this to fix itself in 3 years. They're going to do something about it. But yeah, we gotta get rolling.
Here come the hounds.
All right. Well, I mean, listen.
Not Orlando.
We're back.
My dogs.
My dogs. All right. Well, listen. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep playing with stuff. We'll see what happens, and yeah, we'll see you guys after week 2.
Here we go.
Peace and blessings. I end this recording.
I feel like I'm gonna get ridiculed for my stance on signing children, but
I think you're fine. You did say, still have not ended this, by the way.